Hello, fourth grade. So today we will be reading the third part of Felina's New Home. In this lesson, we will only be covering pages 13 through 20. So if you would like to hear the entire story, you can go to Myon and get the entire story read to you there. So our job today is to describe in depth a character, setting, or event in a story, drawing on specific details in the text. When we ask you to describe something, we're asking you to tell what it's like. In this case, we'll be asking you what is the character like and what is the setting like. And also when you describe something, you can tell what happened. That would be an event in a story that you would tell what happened. We want you to do this in depth, meaning you should be able to say more than one thing about the character, more than one thing about the settings. Okay, that's in depth. And we're going to ask you to draw on details in the text. When we say draw on, we don't mean physical drawing. We mean pulling information from the text or selecting sentences from the text that support your answer as to what the character is like. And you need to be specific in those details. When we say specific details, we're saying important things that happen in the story. So when you describe the character, you should be saying, the character is like this because this happened in the story. Strategy time. So, one strategy you can use is called the what's in the bubble strategy. When we use this strategy, we can pause and think, what's my character thinking here? Or, what might my character be saying here? Even when the text doesn't tell us, we can imagine noticing what's happened so far. Pause on the page and put a thought or speech bubble above the character in the picture. Point to the bubble and say what the character might be thinking or saying. Felina walked toward the bay, but stepped on the edge of a sharp soda can and cut her paw. Felina couldn't believe her eyes. People had left garbage everywhere. Don't people know animals are hurt by their pollution? Felina cried. So using my strategy, I'm thinking, what just happened here? Felina got cut by the pollution people left on the bay. So now I need to think what my character might be thinking. She might be thinking, I have no place to go and rest. Everywhere has pollution or people. I wondered that too, a rumbling voice said to Felina from the bay. Felina looked in the water and saw an American crocodile surrounded by floating garbage. The garbage people throw away can harm all types of animals, especially if they get tangled up in it, the crocodile added. Plus, the fish I hunt can get sick when they live in the polluted water. When I eat sick fish, I feel sick too. Now I don't know what to do. If people would stop polluting, we'd both have cleaner homes to live in, Felina said to the crocodile. Now it's your turn to use the strategy. What words might Felina be saying in her head as she approaches the American crocodile? Think about what's happened so far in the story. Felina's stomach growled, so she crossed the freshwater marshes and pine flatwoods to the hunting grounds where her mother taught her how to hunt deer as a kitten. But now the fields were covered with human homes. She didn't like being near people, but Felina was hungry. Felina couldn't believe her eyes. A human was giving food to the deer she wanted to eat. If the people weren't feeding that deer, I wouldn't come close to their homes. Don't they know how bad it is to feed wild animals? Before I turn the page, I'm going to pause and think about what Felina could be thinking. I think she's thinking about whether she should hunt in a space so close to a human home, but also if she doesn't, then what will she eat? She might starve. I wondered that too, a high-pitched voice said to Felina from the river. Felina looked back towards the water and saw a Florida manatee with large scars across her back. When people feed animals, they may attract predators like you. If the people see you, they'll get scared and may try to hurt you, the manatee said. Plus, other animals get hurt too. People used to give me water from their hoses or lettuce to eat, so I started coming up to them all the time. Once I came too close to a boat looking for food, and look what it did to my back. Now I don't know what to do. If only people would stop feeding wild animals, we'd both be safer, said Felina to the manatee. Time for you to use the strategy. If you could put a thought bubble on this page over the manatee's head or over Felina's head, what would their thought bubbles say? Remember to think about what's happening in the story. What could they be thinking? What would they say? Time to get out your notebook or your Word document if you're going to type your answers. Number 1, pages 13 through 14. What does the word pollution reference as it is used in the text? What evidence supports your answer? Question 2, page 16. Explain how pollution affects animals. 3. From the text and illustrations on pages 17 and 18, how does the author support the idea that it is bad to feed wild animals? And 4. Pages 19 to 20. What caused the manatee to get hurt?